Sega.
Couldn't they have tried talking it out? Hello everybody, Steve Jones C13 here, Boss Caulfield of MIA, and we are here playing Dawn of War. This is the Game of the Year edition for the first of the Dawn of War games that came out. And God, I can't remember when I first played this. I have played this at least 3 times in my lifetime. Completed it all the way through. I play on the normal difficulty, which it's... Now, there are arguments about this, okay? Enthusiasts will tell you, normal is actually easy, hard is normal, and insane is, like, actual hard. And I think it's because on normal, it's like, they have, like, 50% health, on hard they have, like, 100%, and then insane, like, 150, something like that. I play on normal. Now, you might go, you're a bitch for that. But here's the thing. I play games to have fun. I play games to have a good time and all that, not to prove just how big my virtual dick is, okay? So, if you are wanting to see somebody play this on, like, insane mode, I can't help you out there. If you just want to see me, you know, play this game, have fun with it, you know, explain my tactics, then, you know, fasten your seatbelts and join the ride. So we are going to launch into this by, what we're going to do is we're going to do the tutorial first and foremost.
Welcome to the Dawn of War tutorial. By listening to me and reading the text that appears in this message box, you will learn how to play a skirmish game. The mouse is your primary method of surveying the battle, selecting units and structures, and issuing orders. The mouse controls the camera. The camera represents your current view of the battlefield. To pan the camera, simply move the mouse pointer to the edge of the screen. Do this now. To rotate the camera to gain a different view of the battle, press the Alt key and move your mouse. Do this now. You can zoom in on something to see it up close by spinning the mouse wheel forward. Do this now. To return the camera to the game's default view, press the backspace key on your keyboard. Do this now. Excellent. You've returned the camera to its default playing view. By panning, rotating, and zooming the camera in and out, you can get whatever view of the battlefield you wish.
Yes.
To quickly return the camera to your base from anywhere on the battlefield, press the Home key on your keyboard. Do this now. Excellent. You've returned the camera to your base. The diamond-shaped display in the lower left-hand corner of your screen is your minimap. You can use the minimap to see where your units and structures are located, to quickly scan the battlefield, to issue quick orders, and so on. The minimap displays the locations of all strategic points on the battlefield, as well as other items of strategic importance. Fog of War prevents you from seeing things where you do not have a presence. As you move units into an area, the Fog of War will be lifted. Now we will bring up the objective menu. The objective menu provides you with a list of all the primary and secondary objectives assigned to you by the game. Mouse over the objectives to get the description of each.
Okay, so got a bit of a preview. So, the reason I'm doing the objective is not for all that stuff. Like, all that stuff is, like, more pertinent to me. But it's more for, like, when we look at the buildings and the units, so we can talk about what they do and stuff like that. To try and get you as familiar with these things if you've not played a Warhammer game before. I am not a Warhammer expert, okay? Just before we start. But, you know, I want to do a Let's Play for the channel and also for something that my friends and my partner can watch. You know, because I don't get to hang out with them, my partner or my friends much because of my F&D and my schedule's all messed up because I, you know, collapse randomly due to my disabilities. Thanks, life. So I thought this would be fun for them, so I do sincerely hope that other people enjoy this as well, but, you know, I'm really making this for my partner and my friends, you know, so, you know. What we're going to do is we're going to do this tutorial, but I'm going to try and talk about the different buildings and stuff like that, so I don't have to talk about them in the next, I think it's 10 missions that we've got coming up. It's either 10 or 11, but I think it's 10. I think it's 10 missions. So yes, let's jump into this.
Excellent. Anytime you want to refer to the Objectives menu, click on the OBJ button on the upper menu bar. Select your Stronghold and look for the Scout Marine Squad icon located in the lower right corner of the screen. Click this button now.
Okay, so a Scout Marine Squad. So
take note of the small bar that is gradually filling up. This progress bar gives you an indication of how close something is to being ready.
So, the Scout Marine Squad, they are best at, like...
Scouts reporting for duty. Now have Scout Marine Squad. So, strategic points are located in areas of high strategic value on the battlefield. Capturing and controlling the strategic points on the battlefield is how you increase your requisition resource. Order the Scout Marine Squad to capture a strategic point by right-clicking on the point.
Right. So scouts are really good for, like, you know, seeing what's up ahead. They have a cloaking mode, so they can cloak themselves. You have to research that first in order to get it. You have to do it every single mission. We can upgrade their weapons eventually, and you can add more units. So whenever you build something or upgrade something or research something, it'll cost a certain amount of energy in the green here and a certain amount of requisition. Now, you start getting requisition generally automatically, but you need to capture the strategic points to earn more requisition, and you need to build plasma generators in order to you know, generate energy. Now, I'm going to skip ahead a few bits here and do some things that the tutorial doesn't want me to tell you. So, here is the Stronghold. Stronghold is like your home base. It is the main structure of your entire base. The thing that the enemy definitely wants to destroy most of all. So with here, in the Stronghold, you can build your servitors, your scouts, and do certain amount of research and upgrades to the Stronghold. As the game progresses, you're going to want to upgrade the Stronghold to a higher level. So you can see here, we could add, the upgrades are referred to as add-ons. This would be a HQ add-on called the Monastery. What that does is allows us to build different buildings and units that we need later on in the game. This is a squad cap increase. Now, in the game, the maximum capacity you can have at any one time for vehicles and men is 20. Okay, so these are represented up here. So this is your personnel cap, which is made up of your servitors, your scouts, your space marines, any human base form. And this is your vehicle cap, which will eventually be 20 once you max that out. Vehicles are your tanks, your dreadnoughts, those kind of things. Okay, we'll get to them in time. So this is a squad cap increase. So this increases the number of infantry squads you can have by increasing your squad cap. So basically, you would do these researches to get you up to that 20. It takes a couple of them, I believe. And then you've got your vehicle increase cap that does the same thing. We also have the Scout Infiltration research here. So this is the research that allows the squad units to move about in stealth mode. So we're going to go ahead and research that. While we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead...
Slag deposits are concentrated points of energy hidden just under the planet's surface. Take a quick look at your minimap. There are dots on the map that represent slag deposits. Build a thermoplasma generator on a slag deposit to access large amounts of the power resource.
He's talking about these two brighter purple things here. Now, we did the research, and you'll notice
strategic points are located in areas of high strategic value on the battlefield. Capturing and controlling the strategic points on the battlefield is how you increase your requisitioned resource. Order the Scout Marine Squad to capture a strategic point by right-clicking on the point.
Yeah, anyway. So you'll notice that our captures went up to 15. So we have to do another research to get up there. I think another one gets to like 17, then you get one more for 20. But anyway, we're going to do something a little bit naughty. We're going to build a servitor. So a servitor is your builder unit. They are the ones that you need to build other things, whether they are listening posts on strategic points, whether they are plasma generators, or just other buildings. They can also repair things. They can repair buildings, vehicles, and turrets. So they are a must-have. You cannot play the game without your servitors. So yeah, you can see that we are currently doing the research now. Now that I've researched the infiltration ability, they can now go into infiltration. What infiltration is they can be undetectable except to commander units. If they engage in combat, their stealth will be broken. Okay? Once their stealth is broken, it takes a certain amount of time for it to come back. You can see now squad cap is now a max of 20 there. This is the add more squad members. So depending on the unit, there's a limited number of times you can do this. It costs 45 requisition each time. But I can make this unit from a squad of 2 to a squad of 4 by simply doing that. It takes a certain amount of time. And then, instead of having 2 scouts, we'll have 4 scouts.
Scouts here.
And as you can see, they automatically come in under stealth mode. We're going to go ahead and finish the research here.
Scouts ready.
And
scouts in
we're going to
position.
go ahead and get these scouts to claim...
Strategic point identified.
Point takes time. Do not move the capturing squad away from the strategic point until the progress bar is full. Otherwise, you will not take control of the strategic point.
So, strategic points give you more requisition. Not only that, but you can build something on those points called listening posts. Listening posts allow you to get more requisition from the strategic points. Not only that, but you could add upgrades onto them through research and building, which allows them to become turrets. Very, very important.
Defending
Excellent.
objective.
The point is ours. You must continue to capture strategic points to get more requisition resource, which allows you to build more units and structures. Select your stronghold and build a servitor.
Right, now we're getting into the servitor stuff. So,
servitors are required to build additional structures. Servitors are always available from the stronghold.
Now, my playstyle is I always try to build 2 servitors. I think having at least 2 servitors is better because it means, well, you're not just relying on one guy to build everything. You can have one guy build something, and you have the other guy repairing stuff or whatever, or building something else. Or you can use the 2 servitors to build the one thing to speed up the process. So I think that's important. I don't use scouts a lot, except when I'm forced to. So I tend to build Space Marines.
The Servitor has arrived. Servitors are the Space Marines builder unit. Anytime you wish to build a new structure, you must use a Servitor. Select the Servitor and build a listening post on the captured strategic point.
Alright, so there you go. These are our servitors. The builders of this whole thing. So let us go ahead and
initializing
that.
build protocol.
Now let's take a closer look at our scout units.
The listening post fortifies your hold of a strategic point, increasing your requisition rate at the same time.
Yep. Now you can see that they're not in infiltration mode anymore, and that's because they performed the action of taking the strategic
Build routine
point.
721 initiated.
Excellent. The point is now protected from enemy retaliation. You should continue to build listening posts on all your captured strategic points. Some structures, vehicles, and research require power to function. Building a plasma generator will supply you with the power you need to keep your force going. Select your servitor and build a plasma generator.
Okay, so next we have the plasma generator. We'll get to all these buildings, but we might as well into them in order. So the plasma generator gives us energy basically per tick. You can see at the moment we get plus 32 requisition per something. I don't know if it's like per minute or per tick or what. I think it's per minute. But we're not generating any energy, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to build some plasma generators.
I will do as you ask.
But while I'm doing that,
The more plasma generators you have, the faster you will build up
Yes,
a power
Lord.
we're
resource.
gonna do upgrade. This will turn the listening post into a fortified position. So it'll make it harder for people to claim. It increases the amount of requisition that we produce, and they just become tougher. Now you'll notice that we have plus 32 requisition. So I'm going to start building.
You now have power. Plasma generators will continue to produce power at a constant rate. Note that there is a limit to how many plasma generators can be built per stronghold. Notice the white ring that appears around some of your structures when you are deciding where to build. This is the control zone. Most structures can only be constructed within the control zone, while others, like listening posts, can be built at other locations. When you are trying to place a new structure, its color changes from red to green as you move it around. A green color indicates that the structure can be placed at that location, so that building will begin.
Okay.
Select your servitor and build a Chapel Barracks structure.
Look at it. So you can see, build plasma generator, we now get plus 10 energy, which is good because obviously that's quite a substantial difference to fuck all. But you can see that we went from plus 32 requisition to plus 38.
Yes, most beneficent
So
one.
that is the beauty of it. I'm going to build
Build
another
routine
plasma
721
generator here.
initiated. Yes, most
okay.
beneficent one.
And this one can build the Chapel Barracks. So, the Chapel Barracks are basically our infantry building. This is the building where we requisition Space Marines, assault squads, that kind of thing. So this is like essentially we build all our men here. Okay, all our
Build routine
guys.
721 initiated.
And this is now yeah.
The Chapel Barracks is the structure where you can build more advanced Space Marine infantry units.
Scouts awaiting orders.
Right.
Strategic
Have
point
them move
identified.
over to that strategic point there, so we can get more requisition per tick. Now, Watch the amount of requisition we get once we capture this. So we're at plus 38 at the moment. We're going to get interrupted by the guy because this is about to be finished building. But once this is taken, I want you to note the increase in this.
Excellent. The Chapel Barracks is finished. Select your Chapel Barracks and build a Space Marine squad. These elite warriors will form the core of your military force.
Area secured.
Yep, we went from 38 to 44. Okay. So, we are going to build a Space Marine squad. So, Space Marines are like, they're heavy duty, but they're your, kind of like your basic of your infantry. Like, I wouldn't rely on scouts. That might be a game choice thing for yourselves. But I prefer the Space Marines because they're so versatile. You can give them more upgrades. But sometimes you need the other ones. But anyhow.
Marine squad deployed.
Space Marine squads are your all-purpose fighting force. They are powerful and resilient and, with research, can be upgraded to counter almost any threat. They can also capture strategic points. Reinforcing is the act of calling in additional troops to bring your squad to maximum combat effectiveness. Select a Space Marine squad. Click the Reinforce Squad button to add one new unit to your squad.
Okay, so it costs you 200 requisition to bring a Space Marine squad to full strength. They start as being 4 members and you can bring them up to 8. So if you've got, so what I tend to do is wait till I've got 200 bagged, then...
You can reinforce during battle in the event that a brother Space Marine falls to the enemy. You can click the Reinforce Squad button multiple times to bring the squad to full strength. Congratulations! You have reinforced your Space Marine squad. All units and vehicles have a health rating. Health is represented by a small green bar underneath each squad or vehicle. Remember, a squad takes damage as a whole.
Ready.
When enough damage has been inflicted on the squad, the unit will die. If you lose any units during a fight, you can reinforce to bring your squad back to full strength. Make sure you watch the strength of your squad in
What's
battle.
your order?
Reinforce often to make sure your squads are as effective as possible. Remember that when a unit with a heavy weapon dies, you lose that weapon from the squad.
Beneficent one.
You will need to upgrade the squad to
Initializing
get the heavy
build
weapons
protocol.
back. Select the Chapel Barracks and build a Force Commander. The Force Commander acts as a hero for your army.
Yeah. So, normally in game, you won't have to build a Force Commander. If the Force Commander you're playing as dies, then yes, okay.
The Force Commander is a veteran of thousands of battles, and his combat prowess is unrivaled. He will lead your force to victory.
So in the story, we'll be playing as a Force Commander in this respect. We'll be playing as a captain. Captains take control of a unit. Now, so he'll take control. I'm going to have him take control of this Space Marine unit. And basically...
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, so basically he will be able to recite bonuses. Now, I'm going to have this dude
Initializing
build a turret
protocol.
here. I'm going to have my other dude
I
here
await your
build a turret
instructions.
down here. So, let's talk about turrets.
Initializing build protocol.
Turrets are exactly what you think they are. They are twin heavy bolters.
I command in the name of
Force
the
Commander
Emperor.
has arrived. The Force Commander cannot capture points, but is a skilled warrior
Praise
capable of
the
upgrading
Emperor.
powerful abilities. The Space Marine's other commander unit will become available as you build more facilities and unlock more research. Select your Force Commander and click the Attach button. Now, select a Space
Follow my
Marine
lead.
squad.
So, here is our commander. Okay. So he has
What would you have me do?
yes, so he has quite a few different abilities that we'll see in game. He can do a battle cry, which which restores the morale of all nearby squads. He can call for orbital bombardments, which is basically nukes from the sky. he has some really good abilities, but what we're going to do is we're now going to attach him to this Space Marine squad. The reason we do that is because it then gives bonuses to that team, so we press that.
To
This Space
me,
Marine squad
brothers!
is greatly enhanced by the addition of the Force Commander, but he can also fight effectively on his own. To detach the leader from this squad, simply select the squad, then click the Detach icon. It is located in the same place as the Attach icon. Very good. You are mastering advanced concepts that will help you to annihilate your enemies. Select a squad and take note of the small blue bar just under the squad's health bar. This blue bar represents the morale of your squad. Morale represents the effectiveness of your units in battle. Think of it as a combination of mental focus, courage, and the willingness to fight. Various weapons in the game inflict morale damage as well as health damage. When your squad takes morale damage, the small blue bar will decrease, just like the health bar does. When a squad's morale becomes too low, the squad will break. A broken squad has lost the will to fight, and its combat effectiveness is drastically reduced. You do not lose control of broken squads. It is your choice whether to leave them in battle or retreat to gather strength. Also, certain units have abilities that can increase the morale of a squad. Morale can be an effective tool against your enemies. By destroying your enemy's morale, you cause them to lose combat effectiveness, making them much easier to kill. In this way, a small but properly armed squad can destroy an enemy force of superior numbers. Remember, tactics and strategy can turn the tide of almost any battle. Make sure you use this knowledge to achieve victory on the battlefield. Select your servitor and build an armory now.
We'll get to that. So, what he said is very, very true. So the morale is where the things like the battle cry abilities and all that come into it. You need to constantly keep on top of your squad. So, he mentioned it before when we were talking about fortifying, our squads, like increasing it from a 4-man team to an 8-man team. During battle, if you lose members of a squad, you can hit that button there, the MO squad members. As long as you got the requisition, you can hit that stuff to rebuild them during battle. Units themselves will kind of heal over time. And you can improve that by adding an apothecary to the squad. But once a squad's dead, it's dead. If a squad member dies, it dies. The only way to replace it is with this button here. Right, let's quickly talk about these turrets. So turrets are basically they're twin-linked heavy bolters. They're very, 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 very good against infantry. So they are really good at helping take out infantry units, but they're not so good against they're not so good against vehicles. To make them effective against vehicles, we need to upgrade them to missile turrets. Missile turrets are effective against vehicles. In my experience, not so good with infantry once they get close range. So I think the best way of using turrets is to have it as a pair. You have one being a heavy bolter, one being a missile. Because the missiles are great at taking out infantry when they're far away, but incoming. But once they get close enough, they're just not really up to the task. Right, we're going to move
While the enemies
these guys
of the Emperor
over
still
here,
draw
so they're
breath,
out the way.
there can be no peace.
We're going to get this dude.
I await your
thankfully
instructions.
built that.
I await
We're
your
going to get him to build
instructions.
another plasma generator here.
I will do as you ask.
And this
I
guy will
await your
build
instructions.
the armory. So, before I build it, I'll explain. Armory is what allows you to research varying weapons for the squads. So at the moment, all the squads have a very basic weapon. It does the job. But the armory will give us access to things like flamethrowers, heavy bolters, plasma guns, and missile launchers, which all have their own uses. They also give us things that we can research. We are going to build this.
Build routine 721 initiated.
Now, I believe the maximum number of plasma generators you can have
Yes,
is like
Lord.
You must build an armory in order to
Between
access
6
weapon
and 8?
upgrades. Squads can be
Initializing
equipped
build
with a variety
protocol.
of weaponry, allowing you to prepare them against different enemy types.
We'll do a zoom in on the armory here.
Excellent. The armory is operational. Select your Space Marine squad and click the Upgrade Heavy Bolter icon to upgrade
Yes,
a
most
squad.
beneficent one. Initializing build protocol.
Now, before I do that,
He who stands
I'll
with
show
me
you
shall
them.
be
So
my
there's
brother.
like the heavy bolter, and there's the flamethrower. We'll get to that in a moment. With the armory, you'll have access to research. So the first one we have is the heavy weapon increase. So it upgrades the maximum number of heavy weapons Space Marine squads can carry. So at the moment, if we
Today
click on
the
this,
enemy shall know fear.
we show that we have 2 updates available, which basically means that we can give 2 of our 8-man squad, or 4-man squad if you haven't bolstered it, heavy weapons. By doing this, we'll increase it to 4. Very important. Target finders. So this equips all Space Marine squads with target finder war gear. It improves range weapon accuracy for Space Marine squads. Upgrade translates to all Space Marine range weapon upgrades, and it's the first of 2 possible upgrades. So we want that. Bionics level 1. Equips all Space Marine squads with Bionics war gear. Increases maximum health of Space Marines, Assault Marines, Sergeants, and Scouts. First of 2 possible upgrades. We want that. Okay. Now, again, I'm doing things out of order, but now that we've built this and done some research, we can now do a Monastery HQ Add-On. So this adds, this is incredibly important because this is going to allow us to make more advanced units, give us more advanced abilities, and allow us to build certain vehicles. So we're going to do that research. We're going to do that upgrade now. Again, I'm not doing things in order that the game would like, but I honestly could not give a shit.
Initializing build protocol.
You know, because I'm an absolute asshole. Okay. These are doing fine. What I am going to do is I am going to build an Assault Marine squad to kind of show certain differences here. There was a level later on where these guys are key to victory. Like, you cannot win without them, bottom line. Otherwise, I tend to rely on my Space Marines.
I await your instructions.
Right, so 6 is the maximum number of plasma generators you can build. No problem with that. So that's fine. So when you click on a building, you can see what they're currently researching.
Death
and
from
stuff.
above. We stand ready.
So you see these guys have got jetpacks. This is important. See, these guys have something called a jump ability. So you press the jump button, and provided that they can see where they're jumping,
To the skies.
they can jump like that. So if you need them to cross any kind of chasms or stuff like that, these are your guys. So let's zoom in on them so you get a better look. I never use these zoom in features, by the way, when I'm playing the game. When I'm playing the game, I just do it from a top view standpoint. But look, we can add a sergeant. You can do these for Space Marines as well. So sergeants basically help increase with squad morale. It allows them to use the rally ability, which is, restores morale. They're effective against infantry, so that costs us 75 requisition, and it's a little bit more expensive to fully man an Assault Marine squad, but we can do that.
Praise the Emperor.
See, we've also got the sergeant option for these guys, so we're going to do that. But now, we have 4 weapon upgrades. Before the research, you only have 2 as you saw, but now we have 4. So let's talk about these. We have the Flamethrower. So one dude can operate a Flamethrower. Flamethrowers, they are short range and they are effective at breaking enemy morale. So they do damage. They don't just damage morale, they do physical damage. But it's really good.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can
people's
be
morale
no
there.
peace.
We have the heavy bolt. The good thing about that as well is they can move while using it. That's important. The heavy bolter, it fires large caliber bolt rounds effective at punching through most infantry armor, i.e. it's fucking effective. It is long range, it is effective against infantry, but they have to be standing still to use it. So that can cause you issues, but, it's the balancing act. The plasma gun. All plasma weapons use magnetic fields to project superheated streams of molten plasma. It is medium range, so they have to be a little bit closer. They're effective against heavy infantry, and the weapon can be fired while the unit is moving, but is less accurate than if the unit was stationary. So it's kind of like a balancing act between like the flamethrower and the heavy bolter, where it's less, it's less accurate when you move about, but you can move about, you just have to be closer. And then we have the missile launcher. So basically it fires high impact, armor piercing explosive missiles. It is long range, effective against vehicles and buildings, but the unit must be stationary to fire this weapon. It makes sense to me. Now, you can argue 1,000 different ways of how to play this. I'm chaotic.
Notice a heavy bolter appears in one of your squad members' hands. This
Why?
procedure can be
Because I'm a
performed with
fucking
any
idiot.
of the available weapon upgrades. Initially, you can only upgrade 2 units of your total squad with heavy weapons. By doing further research at the armory, you can unlock the capability
What's
to
your
upgrade
order?
more.
Ever vigilant.
So when you have a sergeant, you'll have...
Excellent. You have upgraded your Space Marine squad. You can upgrade your squads anywhere on the battlefield to weapons that are well suited to counter your enemy. The monastery is complete. You can now add sergeants to some of your Space Marine squads. Excellent. Your sergeant has arrived. Note that your sergeants are part of the squad and cannot leave it. Select your Chapel Barracks and build another Space Marine squad.
We'll get to that. But you'll see here, there is a rally button. So if that blue bar was getting really low, you could go...
To me, my brothers!
And that would restore it instantly. We have the same
My
thing.
faith is my shield. Fall in!
There. Okay. We have some other things to research. So, we have enhanced target finders. This is the second one, I believe. Equips all Space Marine squads with target finder war gear. Improves ranged weapon accuracy for Space Marine squads. Upgrade translates to all Space Marine ranged weapon upgrades, and it's the second of 2 upgrades. Bionics level 2 equips all Space Marine squads with Bionics war gear, increases the maximum health, and second of 2. So now they're going to be stronger, they're going to be able to be more accurate in their range weaponry. But we have these 2 as well, which are specifically for our Force Commander. We have the Power Sword. It equips all sergeants, so even the sergeants that we add to teams, equips all sergeants with power swords, powerful close combat weapons. Power swords ignore armor, making them very effective against heavy infantry. And then we have the plasma pistols. It equips the Force Commander, Librarian, we'll get to that, and all sergeants with plasma pistols. Plasma pistols are effective against heavy infantry. Very important. So,
Yes,
are there any
Lord?
other buildings that have been locked? Ah, yes, the Sacred Artifact. Once again, I am jumping ahead with some of these because fuck them. So,
With all due haste,
I could have built it in a nicer location, but what would be the point of that, eh? Ha! Oh, if I positioned that just right, that would have been so satisfying. I apologize to anyone that's cringing right now going, "Ah, we're so close, Stephen! How dare you! Ah!" Well, Ba-ba-ba-da. Okay. So this is the Sacred Artifact. So basically the Sacred Artifact allows us to build the Librarian. it allows us to build apothecaries. It allows us to do more research, which improves the Force Commander and the Librarian. So, the Librarian is a psychic unit, and it can also function as a commander. It can take control of a squad. We'll build them a little later when the game asks us to. But we can do research. So we can do something called the Commander Veteran Upgrade. This increases the maximum health and health recharge rate of the Force Commander and Librarian. It increases the recharge rate of all abilities of the Force Commander Librarian. And it increases the maximum damage dealt by Force Commander and Librarian. And it's one of 2 possible upgrades. We have the Inspiring Aura Research. It gives Force Commander the Inspiring Aura ability. This ability provides all infantry units near the Force Commander a damage bonus, and once reached, this ability is always active. And then finally, the Word of the Emperor. Allows the Librarian to use Word of Emperor ability. When Word of Emperor is activated, no infantry unit near the Librarian will fall in battle unless the Librarian himself is killed. So, there we go. Now, we have other units here. But we'll get to them a little later on. So let's go back here and let us now do what the game wants us to do and build. Actually, quick check. Yes. Alright, so now we can do some upgrades here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another turret. We're going to build the turret.
I will do as you ask.
And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you this. So, this is, if you find that you have a bountiful amount of energy but not much requisition, you can use this to kind of gain more requisition by sacrificing some of the energy. But what I really want to show you is this, the Heavily Fortified Position Add-On. So what this is this makes the listening post not only generate more requisition, but makes it a tougher bastard that can deal more damage as a turret. So, build this turret. We are going to turn this into a missile turret. So, once again, let me swing this around so we can get a little bit more up close to these. So there you go, you can see what the missile turrets look like. And we'll just wait for them to be built. And we'll see the difference. While I pour myself a refreshing soda. Which I love deeply, but they don't sponsor me. So, don't want the lawyers complaining. Right. Here we are. And in a few moments, we'll see this change as well. Which is hard to see because of the green, but... But you can see these are missile launchers now. And now let's take a look at this. See, now it's heavily fortified. We're producing more requisition. And this will now pack a bigger, meaner punch.
Yes, Lord.
We're going to do the same down here. Because I want...
Build routine 721 initiated.
I want these to be fortified and protected. We have another research here at the armory. This is the Power Fist. Equips all sergeants with Power Fist, powerful close combat weapons. Power Fist ignores armor and greatly increases the user's strength. Power Fists are effective against most unit types, including vehicles, infantry, and heavy infantry. Worth having. But now we shall build another Space Marine squad. And it's probably going to ask us to then pair it with a Librarian, but we'll see. I'm doing it to keep the game happy.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, we'll put them into infiltration mode, and
Search
we're going to scout
commencing.
this. Now, notice here,
Marine
this
squad
is our
deployed.
scout unit, and our scout units also have some upgrades available now. We give them the flame.
Select your Chapel Barracks and build another Space Marine squad.
I did, asshole. But yeah, we have the flamer, we have sniper rifles, and we have plasma guns. We've already discussed these, so let's discuss the sniper rifle. So, doing this would upgrade them, well that, so, Feared by most troops for its ability to kill indiscriminately at a distance, it is obviously super long range, effective against infantry and breaking enemy morale. So we'll go ahead and we'll now you can only have 2 at any time, which
Infiltrating enemy
so it means
territory.
2 of your scouts are going to be using normal weaponry and whatnot. Now
Ever
we
vigilant.
built these, but obviously the game's like having an issue, so. That. So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to build our librarian. Actually, no, should we?
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, okay. We're going to build our librarian. And we're going to link the librarian up. So we'll show you the librarian.
Defending objective.
Ah, awesome. Servitor.
I await your instructions. Yes, most
If you can go
beneficent
ahead and
one.
build a listing post on that for me, please.
With all due haste.
Now, the reason this is going so swimmingly, obviously, is because it's a tutorial, and therefore the enemies aren't going to start attacking anytime soon. The enemies will start attacking when we decide, essentially, or when the tutorial decides we need to put up a fight. But honestly, I don't hold out much hope for them, you know, at this stage. So you see here, I'm pairing my turrets. So I've got a missile and a gunner. That way it can help defend against both.
My powers are yours to command.
Ah,
My
librarian.
knowledge is at your disposal.
Perfect. Let's get ready for this librarian's approach. So the librarian is a psychic unit. You see here he has Smite, which it delivers a powerful psychic blast at the targeted location. It causes damage and will throw infantry squads. It's primarily effective against infantry, i.e. don't try to fucking use it against fucking vehicles or buildings. It won't work. And then Word of the Emperor. All infantry near the librarian continues to take damage but will not die while the ability is active. It doesn't affect the librarian himself, obviously.
We shall stand shoulder to shoulder, my brothers.
Otherwise, that would be
I
immortality.
stand ready.
And we're going to upgrade these guys. So we've already done these, so I'm going to do that, that, and that. And I think the game's unhappy because we haven't done the thing. But let's quickly look at this. So frag grenades. Equip Space Marine squads with frag grenade war gear. Frag grenades damage and stun enemy squads they impact with. And melter bombs. Equips assault marines with melter bombs. Melter bombs are effective against vehicles and buildings. Now, I don't really use them. I think they are...
Excellent. You have built a Space Marine squad and brought it to full strength. To mount an effective attack, you should try to have several Space Marine squads, fully reinforced to maximum strength, and upgraded with special weapons and a sergeant. Your field base has supplies and logistics
Yes,
to support a
most
finite number
beneficent
of
one.
squads. The number of squads you can support at any given time is called your squad cap. You can see your current squad cap in the resource area at the top of your screen. Once you have reached your maximum squad cap, you will not be able to call in
Yes,
any additional
most
squads,
beneficent
so
one.
it's very important to keep an eye on this as
Initializing
you're
build
building up your
protocol.
forces. You can increase your squad cap by building certain structures and researching upgrades, but there is always a maximum beyond which you cannot go. Some types of terrain can provide your squads with protection from enemy fire. This is
Yes, my
called
lord.
cover.
Scouts
Select one of your
advance.
infantry squads and move it into cover. The area of cover has been identified with a marker known as a ping. It is visible on the minimap as well as in the world.
Yeah. Whatever.
Cover is useful in that it can provide your
Orks,
squads with
purge
additional
the
defensive
beasts,
bonuses,
taking damage.
which make them harder to kill. It's easy to see cover in the terrain. Just look for your mouse cursor
Knowledge
to
is
change
power.
as you pass
Hide it
over
well.
large bombed-out
I can
craters and
sense
cities,
the enemy.
or patches of thick
They are
foliage and jungles.
close.
You'll notice that when you move your squads into an area of cover, a small cover icon will appear above them. This indicates that they are receiving a defensive bonus. Excellent. Your squad is in cover. Units in cover are harder targets to shoot and take less damage from ranged attacks because of this. Use cover well to gain tactical advantages over your enemies. Excellent. You have captured 3 strategic points and built listening posts on them. Taking and holding strategic
Taking
points
damage.
is key to defeating your enemies.
Hope is the first step
You
on the
can
road
capture
to
critical
disappointment.
locations just like strategic points.
Through the
In some
destruction of our
multiplayer
enemies
Here
do
to
we
serve.
earn our
Capturing and holding
salvation.
one or more of these critical
With all
locations
due
can win you
haste.
the game. You also get requisition from any critical locations you control.
Never
Use a squad to
vigilant.
capture a critical location. Critical locations are
Activating
points on the
jump
map
pad.
that represent locations of critical strategic importance.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
There you go. So you saw there,
There is no
That I'm
such
able
thing as
to,
innocence. Only
you know,
degrees of
improve
guilt.
them whilst I was in battle. And you saw
Here to serve.
down here that you
I
know,
shall obey.
the missile launcher wasn't very effective when the enemy was suddenly upon it, because the missile launchers can't really go super far.
Taking heavy fire.
And carry a big gun.
See, here we go.
We shall know no fear. My aim shall not falter.
Strategic point identified.
So strategic points are a little different. Strategic points are sometimes they are key to building certain things. However, you can't build listening posts on them, so you can't really defend them as well.
Here to serve. I exist to serve.
You can't really defend them easily without building a, without being able to build turrets near them.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well.
The enemy is attacking.
I await your instructions.
See, so this is an indication that we now really need to start building more units. So what we're going to do is we're going to build some more units. Now, Space Marine units take up two squad parts. So you get a maximum of 20 here. So for every Space Marine squad you build, they take up 2. So you can build a maximum of 10 squads.
Awaiting orders.
Venerate
Marine
the
squad
immortal
deployed.
emperor.
So I'm going to have
Strategic point
them
identified.
come down here and take the
Taking
strategic
damage.
point. Because while they're taking it,
Scouts in position. Gathering intelligence.
Marine squad deployed.
so they're handling that.
At your
We're
command.
going to send these guys up
Taking
here.
damage.
See, now we have buildings, which is a problem.
Fall back!
Marine squad deployed.
Yep, so we lost a scout. But you see how the combination of the two really helped
At
us
your
out
command.
once a vehicle appeared, So what we're essentially...
Excellent. You captured a critical location. Note that critical locations
We
cannot
are the
have listening
Emperor's
posts built
chosen.
on them. You must find other ways to hold them.
Marine squad deployed.
Holding relics gives you access to your army's best units
Cleanse.
and vehicles.
Purge. Kill.
Hold on
Never
to them to
vigilant.
ensure you have access to your
Stay
best
vigilant,
technology.
brothers.
Use a squad to capture a
Under
relic.
fire.
Relics are sacred
Fear
points.
denied.
Raise
Objective
them.
achieved. Awaiting orders.
Yes.
Direct us to the enemy.
What we're essentially dealing with right here is a war on two fronts.
We are the Emperor's
So,
chosen.
essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight two wars. So what we're going to do is I'm going to build 4 apothecaries. So Apothecaries, basically when you attach them to a squad,
Apothecary ready.
they enhance the regeneration rate, so they heal quicker.
Apothecary ready.
You can have a maximum of 4, and
The fallen shall
They
be
don't
forever
contribute.
remembered as the Emperor's finest.
they don't contribute to your squad
The
count.
fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest. How can I serve?
You can't attach
Who
them
requires my aid?
to squads that already have a force
What are your
commander or a
needs?
librarian attached to them.
Who requires my aid?
Okay, so now you see that it's important to keep on top of these things.
Here to serve.
Can I upgrade this yet? I'm trying to think of what I need. Oh yeah, we need to build a vehicle.
Yes, Lord.
So what we're going to do is we're going to build a machine cult. Machine
Build
cults
routine 721
are how we build our
initiated.
vehicles. So, first of all, I want to
battlefield
upgrade all
awaits.
these. So, like most, strategy games,
Apothecary
you do this
here.
and you can select all the units there. What I want to do is make sure they're at full strength, and do it that way. You got these guys here,
Awaiting orders.
who are already at full strength, so don't worry about them.
The fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
Bring you guys to full strength. You guys are. So it's just a case of... So we'll keep coming back to those guys.
What are your needs? Taking hits.
Oh, here we go again.
How can I serve?
See, so the missile launcher is making quick work of that. The turret is doing its best to help.
How can I serve?
But the turret itself is just no match for... it's just no match for
Apothecary
the turret.
here.
Where's my other servitor? Did my servitor, like, spontaneously combust? Did it get its ass handed to itself? Because
What are
that's
your
one.
needs?
Where's the other one? Oh, the other one got its ass handed to himself, didn't it? Ah, well. Quickly build another one. Oh, yes! We can do the Fortress Monastery. Okay. So this upgrades the monastery to a Fortress Monastery. It allows us to make other buildings which allow us to make
What
more
is your
advanced
will?
units.
I await your
You go repair
instructions.
that ASAP. I like to try and have 3 or 4 turrets surrounding a listening
Yes, Lord.
post. It's not always doable, but I like it when I can. I like preferably you have 4,
With all due haste.
but sometimes you just have to rely on 3. So we built that. So now we can build certain vehicles. We can build the Rhino Transport. It's basically it's a tank, but it's a transport tank, so it has no weaponry. So really, it's just a roaming shield. I hate them. We have the Land Speeder. It's a light vehicle, very fast ranged attack. It can use skimmer ability to move over impassable terrain, and it's effective against infantry. Not too bad. Then you have your Dreadnoughts. Your Dreadnought is a walker vehicle. They are a support or a siege unit, so they are good for like backing you guys up. Can be upgraded with anti-infantry or anti-vehicle ranged weaponry, one or the other. And effective against most unit types, very effective against vehicles and buildings in close combat. Then we have the Hellfire Dreadnought. They're like
Under fire.
they're like the Dreadnought in the same way. Where's my servitor?
Apothecary here.
No, servitor.
Here to serve. Initializing build protocol.
We'll come at that. So these are fire support. They forego close combat for more ranged weaponry. So they can be upgraded with an additional anti-tank, anti-vehicle and building weapon. And they are effective against infantry and vehicles by default. Then we have the Whirlwinds. These are your main tanks here. The light artillery tank. Artillery can be fired at very long range and does not require line of sight. And artillery is highly inaccurate, especially when firing blind. But it's effective against infantry in dug-in positions. Then you have my favourite, the Predator tank. Heavily armed and armored weapon platform can be upgraded to be effective against vehicles and buildings, effective against infantry. And then you have the Land Raiders, which are heavy vehicles, super heavy transport and tank gunship, can transport infantry units, is only a transport that can carry Terminators, and effective against vehicles and buildings. Yeah, they're okay. You need a captured relic to build them.
Taking damage.
But genuinely, I prefer the Predators. Predators are game winners, in my opinion.
I await your instructions. Yes, Lord.
In my opinion, you can win the game with Predator tanks. But, where's my dude?
Yes,
You
most beneficent
should be able to
one.
build this. Yes, the Orbital Relay.
I will do as you ask.
Orbital Relays are fucking important later in the game because they allow you to do things like teleporting units to certain locations and stuff like that. Now, let me make sure that this group is...
The fallen shall be forever remembered
Fully
as the
upgraded.
Emperor's finest.
They are.
Fall back!
Fall back? Fuck off.
How can I serve?
You can stop by being a coward.
Holding relics gives you access to your army's best units and vehicles. Hold on to them to ensure you have access to your best technology. Use a
What are
squad
your
to capture
needs?
a relic.
Yep.
Relics
Take
are
and
sacred
hold.
points of great
We are-
value.
Yeah, so we're going to now use this squad to go ahead and take that relic. That was the sound of the relic. The good thing is, I believe you can build listening posts on relics, so we can get them defended.
What are your needs? Taking damage. They are finished.
Dumb bastard. Ah, so here we have the orbital relay. It allows us to build Hellfire Dreadnoughts and Dreadnoughts, Space Squads, but it also gives personal teleporters. So it equips Terminators with personal teleporters. Allows Terminators to teleport short distances, even over impassable terrain. These are these dudes here. And now we can build our Predators. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking build Predators. They take 3 per unit.
For the Emperor!
You have captured a relic.
So
You can build listening posts to
you can
fortify
build,
captured
what,
relics.
6
You
of
can
them?
also
Yes,
capture
most
your opponent's
beneficent
relics
one.
to deny them access to their best units and technology. Just like the Chapel Barracks is used to build
Build
infantry
routine
units,
7
the
to
machine
1
cult is used to
initiated.
build vehicles. Vehicles are tough and nearly
I
impervious
stand
to the
ready.
attacks of non-upgraded
I shall
enemies.
Taking
never
damage.
tire.
They are a fundamental part of your army and can carry powerful support weapons. Congratulations! You've completed the learning session of the tutorial. It is time to put what you have learned to work. Take control of the force and build up your strength so you can crush your enemy. Use infantry units to capture strategic points and servitors to build listening posts on them. Continue to build structures and carry out research that will increase your effectiveness in battle. Build additional squads and vehicles. Make sure your research upgrades that will increase both your squad cap and vehicle cap. Take this battlefield, and the next after that. The fight will never end until your enemies are crushed.
Handy little thing. Being able to control your lights with a remote is definitely worthwhile. Okay. So, we need to look for our Predator tanks here. So this is the Predator tank. The Predator tank here like I said, for me, it's the game winner. It has 3 upgrades. It has the Twin Link Laser Cannon, which is a high-powered laser weapon, devastating against armored units, high damage and accuracy than standard laser cannon, long range and effective against vehicles and buildings. I love it. Then we have the Las Cannon, which is a high-powered taser weapon, devastating against armored units, long range, effective against vehicles and buildings. And we also have the other Las Cannon. So basically, you give them 3 weapons. And by the way, they are dope. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They are the best. Fucking fight me. So here we have our Terminator Squads. Now they take 4 spaces. And we have our Assault Terminators. They take 4 spaces. So here's the difference. The Terminator Squad, let's read this. So they're heavy infantry, they're very tough and advanced combat units, but they're slow moving. They can be teleported to any visible location from the structure, and weapon upgrades effective against infantry and breaking morale, effective against most unit types in close combat. Now the Assault Terminator Squad, pretty much the same, except they forego ranged weaponry for additional close combat damage and defense. So these guys are definitely close combat
fallen
specialists.
shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
Venerate the immortal Emperor.
Here to serve.
Right, so he's done that. So now we're going to build
Initializing build protocol.
Right. So what we're going to do, by the way, is while we're doing that, is I just want to show you this. So we're talking about this research. So we're getting plus 85 requisition, plus 60 energy. If I do this research, we'll get the Terminators in a moment. So we go ahead and do this. I'm also expecting an important phone call today. Alright, so we've just had out of there. So we've got plus 91. Alright, remember that. Plus 91, plus 60. Once this research is done,
Predator at your command. Predator
Taking damage.
Predator at your command. The machine spirit is prepared.
plus 90, plus 60. And you see now we have plus 104. You know, it can be very useful. Now, it's important to note that over time, the amount of requisition that strategic points will generate drops.
Predator at your command. Predator at your command.
You know, so, you know, it's important
Yes,
that you,
Lord.
it's important that when you can, capture more strategic points unless you are in the position where you're just gunning for the end game. Because sometimes you'll get to the point where it's like, it's the end game now, you know, and what you're trying to do is just, you know, decimate your enemy.
His will be done.
But yes, you'll notice that inside we have the assault marines or whatever. So we have this, they can deep strike. So basically, we could have them teleport anywhere that's visible to us. So if we want them to just suddenly drop
Into the maelstrom of battle!
here, boosh, here they are.
Await your command.
And they can be upgraded with assault cannons, which are 6-barrel self-loading solid slug autocannon. They're long range, very effective against infantry. Or we can give them a flamethrower, short range, effective against infantry, very effective at breaking enemy morale. You know, so and we can increase their squad size as well.
We await your command.
But we're going to sacrifice them, you know, because a Divinity 1. Alright. What we are going to do is we're going to build more Space Marines. We could build 2 more, because that'll take us to 19 out of 20, and then we won't have room for another one. Unless we... Do we still have our snipers, or were they massacred?
Predator deployed.
I think they were massacred.
Predator tank here.
Okay.
Marine Squad
Predator at your
deployed.
command. His will be done.
At your command.
You guys.
To the skies.
Predator tank here. Approaching target. Predator at your command.
Marine Squad deployed.
The machine spirit is prepared. Predator tank here.
Apothecary here. Direct me to the injured.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have an issue with pathing. Pathing is a problem in this game, I will admit. I've seen some pretty dire examples of this.
Predator at your command.
Make sure these are all upgraded.
Taking heavy fire.
Fun.
Faith is our shield.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Predator deployed.
Orders received.
Oh, we're going to fully upgrade these guys. So, if you have the time, and if you're able to amass a force like this, then genuinely speaking, you will crush your enemy. Like, almost always, you'll just crush them. Because there's one thing that they can't really do is withstand a force like this. Once you've gotten your army like this big, they're fucked.
Faith is our
They
shield.
truly are. They're just fucked. What I'm doing is making sure that this squad is fully upgraded.
Heresy grows from idleness.
Right. Okay.
Yes, my lord.
Do those upgrades, and we'll send these guys.
Maintain attack formation.
Boom goes the dynamite. So.
Predator tank here.
Predator tank. How many are up here? I count one, so I'm going to send another
Moving
one.
out.
Why do tanks are down here? Okay, so there's a few ways we can do this. I could go for the War on Two Fronts approach,
Predator tank here.
or I could just basically go total annihilation
Predator at your command.
on this. I know, technically a different
Predator
game,
tank here.
but, you know, whatever. And let's see if we can just find their fucking base. So let's start
Predator at your command.
by attacking the listening post.
Taking
Predator
hits.
tank here. Predator at your command.
And here they come. See what I mean? Just, they don't stand a chance. When you've got an army that big. Now,
Objective log.
by the way, we could try capturing everything. I'm not going to do that. Basically, I'm getting rid of their, you know, strategic points. Sorry, their critical locations, sure. What is it? Strategic points controlled. Oh yeah, so this is if you're playing like a multiplayer thing. Entirely nothing to do with what we're doing. We're not doing multiplayer. We're doing a single player campaign. So we're going to claim that. And then we're going to find the bastards and we're going to destroy them. Now, I think there's a possibility that there is also Eldar here. I mean, we've only seen the Orks, but we might. I think when I've played the tutorial in the past, there was Eldar, but I might be wrong.
Taking hits!
From whom? Well, they're dead, so fuck them. But yeah, these are like for win conditions if you play multiplayer. Like if you hold 8 strategic points for like 8 minutes or so like that, you win the game. It's like, okay, it's like, it's capture and hold, you know. Whatevs. I don't play multiplayer. I have in the past, and I hated it. Because I got my ass kicked every time, because I didn't really know how to do these kind of games back then. You know, I really wasn't. Like, I'm the kind of person that wins diplomatic victories and cultural victories.
Secure.
Countdown has begun.
What?
Weapons at ready. It is time.
Fuck that shit. I want to find the enemy and destroy them.
Strategic point identified. The enemy is
here we are.
ordered.
This is the mech shop for the boys. It's where they build their vehicles.
None shall
The
stop.
boys hunt. It's where they build their infantry here.
Initiating attack protocol 23.
For the guns.
None shall stop us.
Where they build or something. This is their settlement, like their stronghold basically.
6 minutes until taking hold victory.
That.
Commencing attack.
I'm expecting an important phone call at some point today. Don't know when that'll happen, or if it will happen.
Taking heavy fire.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
Charge.
There we go. That's the tutorial mission complete. Now, obviously, that was quite a long one because I wanted to go explain things as we went. So in future episodes, I don't want to have to like explain what units do and stuff like that, and hopefully that can speed things up a bit for the Let's Play there. In future episodes as well, I'm also going to try, if there's like long bits of silence, I'm going to try and just cut them out because what I don't want is for you guys to be stuck just staring at me just doing fuck all and not saying anything. Now, the way that these episodes work, just to be very, very clear about this, is that I am recording all the episodes first, then editing them all, then uploading them. So by the time the first episode goes up, I have played the entirety of this game. So I won't be able to listen to any hints or tips and stuff like that, which I'm sure you guys will have some great hints and tips. I am not the best at this game. I'm not. There are people again, I'm playing on normal as opposed to harder insane. Okay. But if you want to share tips in the comments, if you want to say, oh, actually, if you do this, it would be a better idea. Because I'm sure that people who are going to watch this will either want to play this or have played this. And, feel free to share them. Just know that I can't benefit from them because I'll have already completed the game by the time you've seen episode 1. Okay? So, thank you very much for tuning in. I sincerely hope you stick around. And I'll see you in the subsequent episode. Until next time.